Hello, hello. Happy Monday, everybody. Happy Monday. Good morning. It is so good to see Monday again, and you are with Dr. Michelle on It's Monday Again. So I am so happy to see another morning. We get new mercies every day. And so I'm reminded that every single day that I wake up, it's because of new mercies. And it's because there's a purpose, there's a plan, there's something that I am supposed to be doing today. And so I am grateful for another Monday. And it's Monday again. It is a good fall Monday. It's very crisp outside this morning. I don't know if fall has fully come in where you are, but it has fully come in where I am. And so it's crisp and cool. The leaves are changing. It's beautiful outside, a beautiful time of year. So I am thankful for the changing seasons. I know I'm not a fan of the cold by any means, but the changing seasons just reminds us of the goodness of God and that seasons change in our life, and it's a process. It's how things progress for us, and so I I am very grateful to understand that change is not a bad thing. It's progression, right? So, in that vein, we this morning are going to talk about change it up. That is our topic for this morning on It's Monday Again. Change it up, right? And I am reminded of many times, where I've had to change some things, I've had to transition some things. Um, and having to do that scared. I am a of higher education. And I remember when I moved over into this education arena that it was not something that was on my radar at all. It was not something that I even ever saw myself doing or thought that I could do. And so many times what we think is so minuscule and wrong compared to really what God has for us. So I remember I was a single mom, and so I needed money, right? I needed extra money, and I had this opportunity to teach one class at a local university, and so I took that opportunity, and it went fine. I was given everything I needed to do that, and it went fine. And but when the class ended, I was offered an opportunity to come on as a full-time faculty person. And I had no idea what that meant or what that looked like, how to do that. I mean, higher education just was not something that I was thinking about. And so I said no to that opportunity initially. And then it came back to me. I was asked again, would I apply for this position? And I'm thinking, what in the world? And I had a wonderful pastor who was very wise man, and he encouraged me to go ahead and do that. And so I did, and um, so nervous, so afraid. Like I just didn't know what to expect. And they offered me this position. And sometimes when you take a step or a leap of faith, it is that. It is a leap of faith because this position did not pay me what I was making. It did not. And so I really had to trust the Lord that this was the direction, the path that He had for me, that I was supposed to be making this change because, again, I didn't know what I was stepping into. I did it afraid, pretty much. I did it afraid. But I can say, here I am, 19 years later, still in higher education. And it was only because of God and His direction and His guiding. And so when I say change it up, that was huge for me. I had to change it up. And I had to trust that as I was changing it up, as I was making this change, making this shift, that I was following the path that was set for me. And so, the first thing that I have to say about changing it up is that we have to listen and we have to follow. We have to listen to how the Lord is directing us, how He's leading us. And, thankfully, as I said, I had a wonderful pastor and people who helped pray with me on that. But at the end of the day, the decision is yours. Are you going to listen and are you going to follow? And are you going to be confident in God, right? Confident in what He's directing you to do. So I made that decision. I listened, I follow. He had a path for me, and it's been a good path. I've learned, I've grown, I've matured, I've grown intellectually, I've grown mentally. Had I not taken that path, I would have missed a lot of opportunities, not only to sow into the lives of students, but just to sow into the lives of people that, my life, that have come across my path. And so it is important to listen and follow and be willing to change it up, to change it up. If it's a season where you're recognizing that there's some things that you want or need to do differently, you've got to change it up. And so the first thing is to listen and to follow what it is God's telling you to do. The second thing I would say is that we have to look into that situation for the reason behind it. Now, it's not always clear right away, why that has come about, what the reason is, but I can look back and see lots of reasons. Um, Again, as I said, just growing in my intellect, growing emotionally, growing spiritually, and the people that I have come across, people who are still, even now, very, very important in my life and have added to my life. They've encouraged me. They've, been friends when I needed a friend. They've been travel buddies. I mean, people along the path have been part of the reason. But a lot of the reason has just been to build my confidence, to build me up, to be bold for the Lord and to be bold in what it is that I do. And so there's lots of reasons, but look into the situation and see what is the reason for this, and I am sure you can pull out those reasons, that you can see some of the reasons that it may be time to change it up, or if you were willing and bold enough to take that step to change it up, the reasons why, part of the reasons why that happened for you. And so making sure that we listen and follow the plan, and that then we look for the reason and see the growth and grow through it. And then, as I think about that, really, as I made that decision to step into higher education, the competition that I had was only myself, right? There was no competition except me, except competing against my own fears, my own doubts, my own worries about, oh, what is this going to hold? I was my own competition. Um, it doesn't have to be that you're trying to do something to one up or compete against somebody else. You're competing against you. You're competing against your own fears. You're competing against your own worries and anxieties. You're competing against your own um, fears about what it is that you're being led to do. And so sometimes we've got to up our confidence and recognize that we can be our own worst enemy. We can be the one getting in our own way, getting in our own way. Good morning, Karen. Amen. Amen. We can be the ones getting in our own way. So we've got to listen, we've got to follow the plan, right? We've got to look for the reasons, and there are lots of reasons, and there are lots of good things that come out of it when you're willing to change it up, when you're willing to take that step and know that your only competition is you and that internal things that keep you from being bold enough to step out and say, hey, this is something that is for me. This is something that I'm being led to do. This is something that I want to do. Um, or I want to do, but I'm going to have to do scared, whatever the case might be. But don't give in to those fears, as I didn't. And I had the opportunity to have people who spoke into my life. And even though I'm telling you, taking that pay cut when you're a single mom, and the whole reason that you took an adjunct position was to get extra money, and then you take a pay cut. But I did that because I was following, I was listening, and I was following what God was leading me to do. And now that I look back, there's lots of good reasons that happened then, and lots of good things that are still happening now. And so I had to get out of my own way and stop competing against myself and be willing to change it up. And notice I put, if you're looking at my scroll, up is capitalized. Changing it up, meaning that you are going to a higher level. You are moving levels, right? Nobody wants to go backwards. But if we're going to change it up, that means that sometimes we've got to really press through the things that would hold us back. We've got to open our ears, our spiritual ears, and we've got to hear. And then we've got to obey. We've got to follow, right? We've got to do what it is we're hearing to do. And then recognize that we've got to get out of our own way. So, um, change it up, right? Change it up, go to that next level. And I want to invite you to start down the road of changing it up. So, I have a workshop coming up, a complimentary free workshop coming up that I'd love for you to be a part of. And it's called Confidence Maximize, right? So maximizing the confidence to be able to change it up. And so the workshop is tomorrow evening, October 11th, Tuesday from 6 to 7:30 p.m. And this workshop is going to help you begin to recognize the ways that you can change it up, to recognize the ways that you can begin to listen and follow, look for those reasons as you listen and follow, and stop being your own worst enemy. Stop competing against yourself and allow yourself to move forward. So I really want you to be a part of Confidence Maximized. The link is in my bio. It's the workshop um, on my calendar. And so I encourage you to come and be a part of this. It's an hour and a half from 6 to 7:30, as I said, tomorrow evening. And I will put the link here in the comments so that you can feel free to join me for that workshop. I want to share with you that I've had some people that I've worked with along the way, and one of them just wrote just such a beautiful testimony of the work that we did together. And I'll just share a little bit of that with you. She said, Dr. Michelle's Bold Voice sessions have stretched me and are so empowering that I purposefully delegate more time for myself to do some real deep down, gut wrenching, soul searching. And that isn't that what it's all about? When we change it up, sometimes it's not easy, but the work that you do will merit you the results that you desire. And she's been doing the work and she's getting the results that she desires. So why don't you join me so that you can get on the road of change, seeing your confidence come up, seeing your self awareness increase, seeing your ability to be able to get out of your own way so that you can move to your next level. So I'm going to look for you in the Confidence Maximized workshop tomorrow evening at 6 to 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we are going to talk about what are some steps that you can take to be able to up your confidence so that when you hear that voice, when you hear the voice of the Lord reaching out to you to say, move, that you listen and you follow and you see the reasons why and you get out of your way and do what He's leading and guiding you to do. So I hope that you have an amazing Monday. It's Monday again, the beginning of a new week, new mercies this morning, and lots to accomplish as we go through the week. And so I hope that you'll keep this kind of stirring in your heart and in your mind, and that you will join me for Confidence Maximize, but that you will also keep working on you so that you can change it up when you're being called to do so. All right. It's been great talking with you. I hope that you have an amazing Monday and an amazing week. And I'll see you next Monday. Dr. Michelle here signing off.